Good morning, everybody. Hope your evening went well. Let's get a sound check here before we kick off the trade recommendations for July the 11th, 7/11, huh? Could be our lucky day, 2014. Today is a post-auction week day. It's a day where the primary dealers clean up their books, bring their hedges home, plan for the next move, and it's a day where the major buyers of treasuries are sidelined. Their appetite has been satisfied. They've spent their bullets for this week, for this month, really, for the 3, 10, and 30 year. So it tends to yield a trading range market. We left yesterday's market wanting to sell failure to take out the 8 to 12 area. The overnight session high is 8.5. That still looks reasonable, and we wanted to buy the buck against the buck at 01.29 to 01. So I think that's reasonable. We too. So got our first sell 7 to 11. Number 2 sell will be 15 to 19. No news to drive today's trading. No news out overnight. Europe or Asia. Europe rebounded. China's market was up. Hong Kong and Japan sold, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. So there's not a lot going on. It's likely to be a summer trading day with the action over early, and the longer the day progresses, the quieter it's going to be. The weather forecast, more global warming is on the way. They're talking about the polar vortex returning to the United States next week, and what typically is the hottest month of the year. So we're swinging here in Wichita from a couple of days of 95, actually made it 100 to 100 a couple of times, to back in the 80s. So we got 2 days in the high 90s forecast, and we go into the 80s next week. So this weather meme of global warming will be challenged in everybody's everyday experience next week. Can't say that I'll be complaining about mid 80 degree temperatures in the middle of July. Makes for pretty nice time outside. So there's no news to kick around. I think maybe the biggest factor today will be whether the E-mini can take out the 1970 area and then change it from resistance into support. We will see. So that's it for the note. On to the 30-year, not much different. The knob spread came in a little bit, but not much. Good buying yesterday in the 30-year, some liquidation in the 10. And the 30-year, pretty much where we were yesterday. Want a sell failure to take out the 12 to 16 area. Didn't quite make our sell point from yesterday afternoon. Actually, we did. We had it 8 to 12, and the high was 11, so it's pretty good. So we'll move our sell up to 11 to 15, maybe a little higher, because of some rebound in the buying overnight. Then 19 to 23. And on the buy side, we'll make it 29 to the buck. I think on the buy side, we had it at 25 to 29, and we just missed that with a low of 30. So I'll make this buy 1. And buy 2, 21 to 25. Just not a lot to talk about this morning. It is Friday. It is in the summer. No news. And those makes conditions right for pretty quiet trading. A little back and forth. But nothing of consequence. Okay, gold last night found light buying, and again, no real news to push the market one way or the other. We wanted to buy the 35 area. It just came just in north of that, and we had a sell in the 40 area, and that looks reasonable for right now. I mean, we could see a pretty quiet day in gold too. I think the pressure comes from the buy side in gold still. I don't think people want to go home short. We had the Portuguese bank problem that has been swept under the table. Everybody in the Portuguese Central Bank and the EU say nothing to worry about here, folks. Move on along. So we're still in the same situation. The sell in the 40-42 area is really aggressive, much more comfortable, 45 to 47, where we had sellers before. So we'll put a question mark on this 40-42 sell. I do like the buy 33 to 35. Just playing for the breakout, and then the next buy would be in the 27 to 30 area, above where resistance was before at 25-27. So don't look for much here either. And of course in gold and crude, those could be famous last words. The euro, been doing pretty much nothing overnight. Actually, another very quiet session in the euro. We left yesterday's euro wanting to sell 15 to 25. The high was 25, 26. We lowered our buy yesterday to the 75-85 area. Did not get close. The overnight low was just below 136 even. So it is pointed lower. I don't think much will happen. So we'll move our buy up to 90 to the buck. I don't like that trade very much, but that's what the market's been doing. And then stops below 81 over here. We'll make it 70 to 80 for buy 2. Not saying Europe has gone on officially on holiday yet, but it sure as hell looks like it. Make 25, 35, sell 1. Just again, let the market come to you. And 50 plus or minus 5 will be sell 2. Looking at crude. Crude found sellers overnight like we thought it might. I think crude's probably headed for $100 a barrel. You know, this ISIS, it's very easy to pin standing armies down with very few men. And it's very easy to shake countries up with very few men through terrorist atrocities, really. And they use them, and that's why they do use them, is to shake things up. So ISIS is estimated to be 5,000 to 7,000 people. They're very bold. They understand the value of the internet and website and terrorist acts. The city of Mosul fell in a hurry. They made quick run-ins to Iraq, but they're having trouble consolidating and holding the city. So the oil is flowing out of Iraq, and ISIS really isn't in a position to change that unless there's a palace coup and the Sunnis take over. And that's going to be really hard to do in a Shia based run government with more Shias in Baghdad than Sunnis. So I do think that crude is headed lower. We do like the sell at 75 to the buck. We went out last night wanting to sell 103 and a quarter. Did not quite make 103, so We'll lower it a little bit. I'm going to keep the buy the same, 102, 102 and a quarter, and we'll look for a quiet day. And then 50 to 75. I like the short side of the market better, as long as Iraq is not overrun. The crude should flow, and even if Iraq is overrun, the crude will be protected because the new set of dictators needs cash flow too. Funny how that works. It's also, when you look at countries historically, those one-trick pony economies, every thief and crook and dictator wannabe, tribal head in countries like that, they spend 24/7, 365 a year trying to figure out how to take over the country so they can be in charge of the gold mine, the diamond mine, the crude oil, or whatever it happens to be. And takes a lot of muscle to stay in power once you've achieved that. Okay, I want to take a look first at F1 on the E-mini just to bring a perspective to what we're doing. We're in a very, very strong uptrend. The market is ignoring fundamentals. A lot of the news that's coming out does not support strong economic growth or economic rebound. The consensus of the opinions of economists that were pooled yesterday came in growth for 2014 now at 1.7 to 2%. And so they're cutting down their growth of 4% for the second quarter and 3.5% to 4% for the third and fourth quarter, because it's not happening at the retail sales level. So growth has been cut back. So what's supporting the market? The Fed and easy money, working the spreads. You could borrow for 0.25% and go put that money elsewhere and play the spread. And the Fed's going to tell you when they're going to raise interest rates, so you can, you'll have time to unwind what you're doing. So we have ourselves an inside day. There's a seller, 67, 50, 70. Definitely a buyer below 50. And we're currently at 62. So I'm guessing a trading range day, but the pressure really is on the shorts. And they're short for all the right reasons. And they've been getting short for all the right reasons. The trade just doesn't develop. So they're willing to take a shot at the market to the short side. Then when they don't get follow through selling, the doubt comes back in. Stops are tightened. And that's what can rallies the market back. So looking at the F2 screen, looks like there's a seller above 65 and a buyer below 50. And that probably isn't going to change. So we're at 61.50. The overnight session high is 63, so we'll make sell 1, 64.66. Lean against that resistance at 67.50. Anticipate a test there. Then we'll make it 69 to 71. Let them go just above 67.50, 70. Get the stops. Then come back in the trading range. On the buy side, we left last night hoping to buy 50s to 52s. Did not get close. We thought that 55, 57 might be it. But we're always optimistic about being able to buy cheap. That's probably to a fault for me. Got to know the animal you're dealing with. And then 50, 52 for the second buy area. No news to drive the trading today. Stops above and below the overnight session highs and lows is probably the biggest dynamic the trading community will look at early in the morning, then whether we can build value above 67.50 or not. Much more comfortable buying 50, 52s than 55, 57s, but 55, 57 is where support is. And and we'll see how she plays out. It'll take at least 15 minutes to get everything said and done. I'm going to get busy on that right now, and I'll be back with you as soon as possible. In a bit.